Well, hello and welcome to the Headless DAM with Cloudinary Bootcamp Course. I'm Marcelo Lewin, the Headless Creator. As always, get a hold of me right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com with any questions you may have. In this interview with Maribel Mullins, she's the Technology Partner Manager at Cloudinary and a presenter on this bootcamp. I'll be chatting with her and she'll be telling us all about digital asset management systems and how they can be integrated into a headless CMS. So without further ado, Maribel, welcome.
Hello. Hey. Hi, Marcelo. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. Thank you for doing this interview and thank you for doing this bootcamp. Very excited. So tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get into technology?
Yeah. Currently I lead our partner built integrations program, and that I help educate companies to who want to integrate with Cloudinary. And so I also verify their integrations to ensure that they're meeting our best practices. And I'm originally from Texas, moved to San Francisco in 2017. I've been at Cloudinary for over 4 years. And as far as my background, in technology, how I've gotten into technology. I actually am a dual major, biology and computer science.
Oh, wow.
And if you asked me what I wanted to do when I started university, it was to be a thoracic surgeon. And what hooked me was I needed an elective. I took an intro to computer science. And after that, it was like, oh, I'm hooked. I love this. This is like puzzles. This is, this is awesome. So I ended up double majoring. And but I did like actual research in neurobiology and bioinformatics. And at the end of it, I was like, well, what am I going to do? Like forget about thoracic surgery. I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life. And so
What
I
was your parents' reaction? Were they looking for you to become a surgeon or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're like, we had a plan. We talked about this. And
Right.
yeah. And I was like, no, no, no. Like, this is so much fun. Like, you have to check it out. It's like playing games all day.
So
You're like,
did you get into development after that or did you
so I
do
did,
coding?
yeah. So with the computer science degree, I was like, let me do development. So my first job was a developer, and
Uh-huh.
one of the things it was a consulting company. So one of the things they had me do was go out and get requirements from customers, and they
Right.
kept sending me out, and I was like, what is going on? Why doesn't anybody else go? Why do I always have to go?
Right.
And it turns out that there's this niche of like you can be social and you can be a developer, and this is like a whole thing. And I was like, oh, like I'm really good at this. And so back then it wasn't customer success management. They didn't have that. They
Right.
called it like technical account management um, or technical consultant. So I ended up progressing into that role. And so I've been a customer success manager for over, I'd say 16 years. And I joined Cloudinary as a customer success manager. And then last year they had this BD role open up, and I was kind of like, oh, this sounds interesting. I get to be more technical. I kind of miss the development side of things.
Right.
So I ended up switching over, and I absolutely love it. So I feel
That's the
like,
perfect balance between
yeah,
being super technical with your computer
mhm,
science degree, right? And also
exactly.
being customer service oriented. That's just that you can pretty much find any job you want like that, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you
Mhm.
code in? What languages? What was your preferred language?
Java. I love Java. um,
Wow, you're hardcore.
Yeah. So, recently I've been doing more React stuff just because there's a lot of front end stuff. Java C is, kind of my training in university.
Yeah. If you had to go back to being a developer, would you do it, or it's just you like being out there a lot?
Um, I feel like I would be. I didn't realize that, it paid more to be a developer than customer success manager. And I thought, oh, like maybe I'll get, but yeah. So my husband's a developer, and I'm just like,
Ah, so you
I'm
come from the
missing it.
developer family. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
You said now you're with Cloudinary. So what attracted you to like digital asset management?
Yeah, content is king. Like, who doesn't need a dam, right? I'm a huge user of Dropbox and Google Drive, Google Photos. I even worked at a company called Excellion, which secures your assets. With Cloudinary, it's not about just having a digital asset management system or storing your assets. It's about like what you can do with those assets. And so they do a lot with images and videos and like cutting edge stuff. I mean, it's like new file formats are coming out and there's AI technology and you're stitching videos together, or there's facial recognition. There's so much you can do with just images and videos as well. So that's what truly keeps me there, because this cutting edge part of it.
DAMs have really progressed, especially with computer vision, right? And AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's so much to do, and a lot of it is managing your assets, and a lot of it can be done now automatically or through AI,
Hmm.
right? Instead of all manually.
Exactly.
Yeah. So um, your lesson is really focused on the integration between a headless CMS and a DAM, right? What is the difference between a DAM and a headless DAM? Is there any difference? And can you just cover that real quick?
More so that the headless piece of it is that you're able to communicate and share with other backend systems, and so it's more about the API. So headless meaning that it's API developer for sort of thing. So taking those APIs and building what you want, and
Right.
um, the key point is like having a single source of truth and then plugging into all these different systems. And this is great because you don't have to have like 10 Google Drive folders, or it's all like in one place. And we know that some of these other dams, or they don't really have APIs to do those, or maybe you want to build your own front end. Are you able to do that with a regular dam? No, you have to pretty much use a headless dam for that.
So when looking for digital asset management that you want to integrate into your
Mhm.
CMS, you really want to make sure they have an API and it's headless.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so why integrate a headless DAM into a headless CMS if I already have a media manager in there?
Yeah, so CMSs, or even headless CMSs, as you mentioned, they have their own media manager, but it's very limiting. It's very they're not, their forte isn't assets or handling them. So sometimes they don't include foldering, or they don't have permissions to security around it. Searching is hard. It's not, they give you the basic search. Maybe it's even the sizes of the files, like they're like, you can only have this resolution size, or
Right.
this file type. We don't support any other file type. And so you're very constrained, and you kind of need to like break out of the box, or maybe you want to show 3D images. Like, is your CMS going to be able to handle that?
Right.
So um,
And I know
having
some headless CMSs also have limitations on the number of assets you can store, and they start
Yep,
charging you, right? Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you're going to go more in deep into the lesson. If people want to learn more, obviously they can go there. Give us a couple of challenges with headless dams and in integrating them into a headless CMS.
Yeah. As far as challenges, um, yeah, I would have to, if you have multiple sub accounts, like being able to pull in those different sub accounts is kind of a challenge. Um, Development work, that you definitely need to have good developers to in the headless world in general,
Right.
to be able to put these systems together and understand how they work and truly get underneath everything, right? And so I feel like that's the biggest challenge, is the developers that you have, and ensuring that you have good ones to take you through this headless journey. Um,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Very cool. Well, people can learn more about all of that in your lesson in this boot camp. So thank you so much for doing that. If people want to get a hold of you, is the email right there the best place?
Yep. Maribel at Cloudinary.com.
Maribel, it's been a pleasure. Looking forward to your lesson. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And thank to the rest of you for watching this interview. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you want to get a hold of me, right there, Marcelo at headlesscreator.com. Continue watching all the interviews. Watch her lesson. It's a great lesson. And we will see you on the lesson. See you.